are tuned in to your dose of positivity. I am Marlene Motivates, and as I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive. Just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life.
Hey everyone, welcome to Marlene Motivates. I am your mindset shifter for all things positive, life lessons, and self improvement. If it's your first time here, hit the subscribe button. I love to have you as part of the motivational family. And of course, like I always say, I would love for you to join my channel membership. Yes, everyone, I would love for you to join my channel membership for member only perks. So, today we're going to be speaking on the topic of pessimistic versus optimistic. Now, I wanted to cover this topic because I feel that it's a major problem with so many people. Let's go to the chat and see who's in the chat. Hey, the word. How are you? Welcome. Happy new week to you. And I would appreciate the likes and shares for any of you who are just coming in live or who are listening on the replay. So we're going to be talking about pessimistic. Okay, let's start off with that. Pessimistic is defined as tending to see the worst aspect of things or believing that the worst will happen. We tend to have a negative thought process. They're very cynical. They always think that their outcome is bleak. Hey, official 1SP, welcome. How are you doing? It's so important to have look and evaluate your thinking. And if it's a pessimistic one, it may stem from feeling depressed about your current situation in your life. We all go through some hard and dark periods of time in our life that can cause our outlook, our attitude towards our life to be very pessimistic because of we feel that we've been giving a raw set of cards. We've been given the wrong set of cards for our life. Being pessimistic means that you just can't see good things happening to you. All you see is the negative that is around you. And it's not that negative doesn't happen. Of course, negative will happen, but a pessimistic person only sees the negative things around them. And there's always going to be good and bad in life. It's things that is unavoidable. But the reason for this conversation is because I want you all to look at both and see where you identify, where do you fit in? Are you pessimistic or are you optimistic? Okay. Now, we were talking about pessimistic, meaning that you see the worst. You see the worst of things happening, and also you can see the worst in everybody else. But the question always is, how do we shift out of having that thinking of being pessimistic? It's not as easy as just saying, I want to be positive. It takes way more than just the thought that, I need to do better. I need to think better. I like to call this the three P's, and we're going to get into that. But before we get into the three P's, let's also talk about what it means to be optimistic. Okay? Being optimistic means that you see good things everywhere. It's not hard for you to find good things. You're always constantly seeking to the best in everything, everyone. You're always looking at the glass as half full, whereas a pessimistic person would think of the glass as half empty. So, now that I have identified what being a pessimistic person is and what an optimistic person, where do you find yourself? In what category do you find yourself? And why do you think that people do become pessimistic in their life? Well, I know I speak from personal experience. I was pessimistic for a long time because I just thought that that's just the way life was. I thought that my life was a reflection of my circumstance. And when your circumstance may not be in the right place at the moment, it's easy to feel down and for your attitude to be down, for your vibration to be down, for the way that you think about yourself to be down, okay? But I want to talk to you all about the three P's. I want to talk to you about the three P's, okay? The three P's. And it's just something that I came up with that I think is important. When you talk about being pessimistic and also talking about being optimistic, you can't leave out the three P's. I am Jose. Welcome. So good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Appreciate you. So let's talk about the three P's and how this can help us to shift from a pessimistic attitude to an optimistic attitude. So the first one is positivity. And it's not just knowing that positivity exists, it's letting positivity become a part of you. How do we let positivity become a part of us? It's how we think. Who do we draw to us? Who is your circle of people? Who do you choose to be around? And also, it's very important to think your outlook or your optimism towards your life is based on what you entertain your mind with. It's very important to listen to positive things, to surround yourself with positive people, to believe positively about yourself. Now, we said a lot, right? Being positive is more than just the thought, I should be positive. It also implies that we should have positive surroundings. We may not be able to change the people that we're around for the moment, but for the people that you select, the ones that you select to hang around, to make phone calls with, to give your personal one-on-one time, what are those people like? Do they tend to be positive people? That's a question that we have to ask ourselves. And yes, while you may not be able to choose who your family is, but you can always choose the amount of time that you choose to be around them, right? It's so true. It really helps us not only mentally, psychologically, but also it helps our spirit. Our spirit becomes weak and you feel drained when you allow yourself to feed into the mindsets of others that are negative. And we don't realize it. It's just like that. It's just like the snap of a finger, the blink of an eye, the bat of your eye. You could go from feeling so good about yourself to being around someone and they just let their negativity drag you down by what they're saying about their life, what they may say about you, what they say about other people, because we're constantly being fed from other people. You can choose to be fed in a healthy way, to be encouraged, to be supported, to feel good about yourself. People can feed that inside of you, and that will make you feel strong and encouraged, not only physically, but mentally, but also spiritually. That's so important to make sure that you're eating and being fed in all aspects of your life. While this part, what you're feeding yourself, you know, what you let other people feed into you and pour into you, but also what kind of materials are you reading? I found that when I was the most discouraged, when I felt the most down and in a dark place in my life, I had stopped reading positive information. I had let, the news, gossip, negative people, my present circumstances, a health problem. So many things were starting to drag me down and cause me to have that pessimistic mindset and thinking. So if we don't take control of the way we're thinking and check ourselves, that's a part of being one of the that's part of being um, high vibrational. That's a part of believing in your light, knowing when, I think I may need to work on something. I may need to work on myself. I think that I'm really negative right now, momentarily. We have to check ourselves, be accountable. It's nothing wrong with saying, I need to check myself. I need to work on myself. I need to do better. See, that's the first step in that one of the three P's, that positivity. Positivity can be all around you, but if you're not seeking it, if you're not searching for that positivity, if you're not looking at your life and walking in a spirit of gratitude, being grateful for the things that you do have, but only thinking, what don't I have? See, we make a choice every day when we wake up, okay? Every day we wake up, we choose how our day is going to go. And I didn't realize that when I was in that pessimistic mindset and how I had to start learning to shift gears. As soon as I woke up, I already spoke over my life. Today is going to be awful. And nothing is going to work out for me. And I don't feel good. And you just keep bringing yourself down this slippery slope of darkness and sadness and dimming your light until you're rock bottom. And you just stay there because it's a choice to have one of the first of the three P's. It's a choice to be positive every day. It's a choice. We all have to choose to be positive. We have to choose to have a positive mindset. We have to choose who we allow to be in our life. We have to choose what we're going to do with our life. We have to choose that. It's all about the choices that we make every single day. Now, I just saw some come in. I saw, hey, Terry Jones, welcome. Good to see you. Hey, loving me, Tracy Anderson, welcome. And all my members always put exclamation point member to have your link dropped. Thank you so much, members. And TSM Rapper, hey, how are you doing? Good to see you. Blessings to everyone in the chat. If you think you are going to fail, you will do something to make your failure happen. Why run a race when you think you're going to fail? You must keep a positive mindset in life. Yes, that is so true, Terry. It's very important to keep a positive mindset in life, but when life happens to you, the circumstance that you may be in, right? Your present circumstance, we don't always make the best choices. We don't always make the best decisions. We don't always listen to our gut instinct. We sometimes go down a path and a road. You may be warned. You may be warned, hey, that's not a good idea. People in our life that love us and care for us will tell you that's not a good idea. That's not a good thing to do. But we personally make a choice, either being stubborn, being ignorant, or just not having the understanding. We go down a path and then we're stuck. We're stuck in dealing with the consequences of our actions. But there is always hope. Yes. Thank you so much. Hey, Eunice. Good to see you. Hope all is well with you as well and everybody in the chat. Happy New Week to everybody. Yes. Yes, we each have to choose that positive road. And it's not as easy, like I said, it's not as easy as just saying, I'm going to be positive. No, there's much more than just being positive. Positive and negative will always exist. It's always out there. But it's what you're choosing to allow yourself to believe and to think about yourself, right? We sometimes don't acknowledge how much mind power we have, how much talent we have. We allow our circumstances, we allow our finances, allow our lack of our spiritual connection to get us down. We allow the ones that don't support us and feed into us to get us down. And then we start having that pessimistic attitude. The worst is happening, and I only see the worst because the worst is happening to me. See, that's personal application. We can't stop the worst from happening to us. We can't stop situations from happening to us. We can't stop people from hurting us and saying rude things. We have no control over those things. All of those things are outside of us. But I know you're going to ask me, but Marlene, but what do you do when you're in those situations and someone comes at you with that negativity, with all their drama, with their garbage, you know? What do you do with it? How do you put it in the right place? See, that's why it's so important for you to work on your own self. I call it inner work. Work on the inside of you. See, because when the inside of you is strong, inside of you is firm, inside of you knows your worth, when you know your light, you know your passion, you know what you're going after, all of the things that constantly hit us, we're always being fired on all cylinders. We are all sources of light and energy. But it's the things that we choose to allow to hit us and we choose to digest it, whether in our mind, in our heart, in our spirit, in our soul. What do we choose to take in and believe for ourselves? See, it's so important for us to do more than just, you know, work on our thinking. We got to work on the inside. What do I believe? And are you fully convinced in your power? And are you fully convinced in your light? See, all of those things, when they happen, and if it has not happened, it will. That's being realistic. We can't stop all of the back talk, the people trying to stab you in the back, the people who disown you, the people who are disloyal, or health problems. We can't stop people from leaving our life. You can't stop people from dying. You can't stop, that there's going to be financial problems and setbacks in life. None of that. That's being realistic. You have to come to the table as an adult knowing full well problems will happen to me. But when those problems happen, how will I choose to take it in? Okay? How will I choose to deal with it? What will my thinking be towards the situation? Am I going to take it and am I going to digest it as something, this is personal, like someone's trying to come against me? No, that's not a personal thing. That's about you at that moment showing your resiliency, showing what you're made of, showing, hey, I went through some tough and hard things in my past, and this will not break me. Just like what happened to you in your past didn't break you, this right here and right now will not break you either. Hey, Wellness, how are you? Did I miss anybody else? I think I missed a comment from Eunice. Being positive and optimistic is something you have to cultivate. That when you think about the word cultivate, that means that there is work and there's a process. We have to be a willing participant. Yes, Eunice. We have to want to do things because in our life, nobody can make you do things. Just like I was saying earlier, we can have all the tools, right? You can have all the tools. People can warn you. You can read all the good books. You can know that you should be positive. But what are you choosing to take in? What do you choose to want for yourself? See, we have to want better before we can receive better. And that's something, I'm fully accountable for myself and my actions. For a long time, I just wanted to be bitter. I wanted to be angry. I wanted to just be upset. I didn't want to be accountable for my own actions. I wanted to blame other people. I wanted to be miserable. I wanted to be angry. And when I started to realize that don't be the statistic, don't be what the media portrays you to be, because that's what other people love that. Other people love when you don't step into your power. People love when you don't use your talent. People love it when you're miserable. And they said, look at them. I knew they couldn't do it. Never give other people that type of satisfaction, especially when someone says that you can't do anything. Let that encourage you and motivate yourself to get into your action. And yes, there are times where you're not going to feel like doing something. You're going to say, I'm going through so much. I don't feel like being positive. I'm tired of always taking the hit. I'm tired of always feeling like I feel. And I understand. I completely empathize with your situation. There's so many things that come at us, and we just get tired. We get tired of everything. We get tired of the negativity. We get tired of the lack of support. We get tired of fighting and combating and standing in the gap for ourselves. But it's something that we must do. You must love yourself. You must give yourself that type of room and mercy. I'll tell you all something. Compassion is something that we usually give to other people, but we don't use it on ourselves. Don't forget that while you are there for other people, or care about other people, support other people, remember to use some of that compassion on yourself. Be compassionate towards your own situation. You may sometimes need to unplug from other people. Step back. Stop answering those phone calls. Stop saying, I can help you. Learn to say no. Stand up for yourself. See, we become that pessimistic person, okay? We become that pessimistic person, that negative person, that person who feels like they're in that dark hole, because you're not saying no when you need to. You're not pulling back. You're saying yes to things that you want to say no to. Don't be afraid to be like, no, nope, that's not for me. That doesn't work for me. Or no, that's not something I like. That's not something I'm interested in. That shows you love yourself. It shows that you value yourself. All of that feeds into you being positive. So that's the first of the three P's, is positivity. That's so important to combat from the pessimistic attitude and shifting into the optimistic. Okay. Now let's go to the second part of shifting from pessimistic to optimistic, and it's planning. Planning. And I'm going to give away the third part. Third part is preparation. And I know there are some that think that planning and preparation is the same, and it's not. Planning is not preparation. Now, I did some research on this, and it said that planning is controlling your environment. Planning is the things that you can control. So you plan for the things that you can do, like how you choose to think, how you're going to allow your energy, the things that you're going to allow yourself to do and to think, what you're going to allow people to do to you, how you're going to allow people to treat you, what you allow. Those are the things that is within your reach. That's the things that you can control. So working on planning. Planning is so important to shifting from that pessimistic attitude to optimistic, because where there is plans, you know the direction, you know where you're going, you know where you're heading. And I did find that when I didn't know what I was doing throughout my day, when I started to learn to plan out my day, I'm going to do this, this, and this. Okay? I knew I knew my focus. I didn't allow myself to get distracted because I knew, okay, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And if I didn't finish it all, I knew where to pick up tomorrow or the next time I got time. So, just a little bit of encouragement to all. If you feel like you find yourself feeling discouraged, feeling down, try to get into planning out your day, because where you become more focused, where you make plans, you don't give yourself room for distractions. See, the more you become focused is the more you can be, become and maintain your positivity. Let's see what's going on in this chat. Here we go. Have you ever thought about what you will feel when you finally reach the summit of this mountain? Tell me, Marlene, what will be the ultimate success feel like? What does it taste like? Um, for my ultimate success is when I start doing my tours, and I'll be doing my motivational speaking around the country. I have already plans in my mind. It's on my vision board. If I was on my laptop, if I wasn't on my tablet, I would turn the camera around and show you. But I already know what I'm going to be wearing. I already know, where I want my first motivational speech to be. I know who I would love to be there. So that's for me to be at my highest level of success, is doing what I have set out to do for almost 5 years now. And I feel like I'm right on the precipice of my success. And yeah, that's what it would be. My ultimate success would be, doing my motivational speaking to a sold out show, and getting up there and saying what I've been wanting to say. I've planned it over and over in my head a million times, what I am going to say to all of those who are no longer with me in um, in person, but they're here with me in spirit. The conversation that I'm going to have with them and the audience that I will be motivating. Thank you for that question, 1SP. Yes. Awesome wellness. I hope you're having a great rest of your day. Perhaps the most pivotal key to any pursuit to greatness, the people you surround yourself with. Exactly. And that's why I always say, being positive cannot happen. You can be positive for a while, but positivity is about maintaining it. And the way to maintain our positivity is by what our surroundings are, what we're thinking, and then what actions. Because if we don't get busy in doing, then we get discouraged and we give up. So it doesn't have to be a lot of success, but little steps towards your success every day shows that, like, I can do it. Like, you feel supported, you feel understood, you feel like you actually are getting something accomplished. And that's so important towards whatever it is that you're trying to do. We must remember some people stand on the broken parts of another person's life because they can't stand on their own. Yeah, that's why it's so important when you are helping someone and you're assisting other people. I always say to everybody, when you're being a supportive friend or whoever you are in a person's life, a positive mentor, before you go and do that and support and help other people, make sure you're first putting on your own oxygen mask. I always say, when you start your day, when you wake up, the first thing that you should be saying, thank you. That's always the first words out of my mouth every day as soon as I open up my eyes. Thank you for another day. I'm grateful for another day. And when you start your day with gratitude, there's there's nowhere that you can go but to become more elevated. But when you wake up and the first thing that comes out of your mouth is, "Oh, I don't feel good," or "Why this," or "Why that," take your time in your alone in your mind to convince your mind that today is going to be a great day, and your impact on this world today will be great. That's how you shift your focus from being pessimistic to being optimistic. Is how you choose to cast your mind. Hey Tamika, how are you? Welcome. The clarity of the path to greatness should be so real that you can close your eyes and visualize the moments of succeeding as if it was real. Yes, 1SP. I have done that. I can see myself. I know what I'm wearing. That's how real it has become to me. Hey, Realist One. How are you? Good to see you. Happy New Week to you. Thank you so much for spending some time with your girl. We'll see if I have any other comments. Oh, we got a lot of comments here. We must remember an experience is a failure if you didn't learn anything from it. Yes. It's all about how you're choosing to look at your situations. I actually don't believe in failures because I think of that as a negative thing. I choose to look at everything as an experience and how I chose to look at that experience. What did I learn from it? What lesson? You know, I try to keep negatives out of my vocabulary, out of my thought processes. That's a learning lesson. That's something to learn and to grow from. Always. Yes, realist. And it's going to happen. Will see very soon. Your girl is working on something behind the scenes. I'm not a person that likes to speak on things until it has come to fruition. But yeah, your girl is busy these days working on her thing. Uh, let's see. It's all about the energy we put out. Yes, it's about the energy you put out. I always say that even when people come at you, sideways, to the left, to the right, but how are you choosing to take that in? If you even choose to take it in, because I'm so protective of my space, I'm so protective of my peace that anything that feels off, if somebody's energy is off, if something is off, like I'm like, mm-mm. Like I'll leave quickly. If the energy isn't right in a room or if people are talking crazy or whatever it is, it's just not worth it. That's so important for you to shift your gears into going from being pessimistic to being optimistic is what you allow your mind to think. What do you allow yourself to believe? What do you believe about yourself? What do you think about yourself? Um, Honestly, a lot of people need to work on what they think about themselves. I hear people say all the time, I love myself, but when a situation comes at them, they show everything other than they believe in themselves. They show how negative they really are, you know? It's about when you're tested, you know? Faith is one thing. It's one thing to have faith in yourself, but it's a whole nother thing that when your faith is tested, how is your refinement going to be? What is your fruitage? What do you bear? What do you produce? What is your end result when tested? When someone does this, now how do you appear? How do you appear to the mirror? How do you appear to other people when tried, when tested? When someone says something to you and you don't like it, when someone comes at you to the left or the right, see, do you listen to it? Do you allow yourself to go to 10? See, I'm learning the more that people come at me sideways, I've actually learned now the art of staying calm no matter what they're doing, no matter what they're saying. I maintain my blood pressure. I actually have learned that when someone makes me mad, my blood pressure goes down. I get even more calm. And it's not that I'm not about to make a move, but I've learned to control my reaction to it. See, see, that's what I always say. Keep your power. Don't give People give away their power and their energy too easily. If you give all of your power away immediately, or you feed into the lies of other people, or you try to justify everything that you're doing, you don't have to justify nothing. People don't have to like you. What does it matter? Who cares? All that matters is what I think about myself. And I'm very big on the vibration. If somebody's vibe is off, if somebody coming at you slick, or they're being negative, or they're doing something and you realize it, it's no. I don't even have a reaction. I'm good. I gotta go. I'm leaving you all the way behind. Yes. It's very important. Yes. Learn to be the shepherd of your life. Don't let someone else make you the sheep of your life. Yet you have to be. I learned one thing, after when you've been down, really down on yourself, on your life, and you felt like you were rock bottom in your life, okay? I've been there. I've been to where I actually have felt like taking my life. I felt that way on many occasions, but it's because I was failing to work on myself. I was not working on my self-esteem, on my self-awareness, on doing things that was self-loving. Instead, I was taking in and listening to the things that was self-harming. And it's so important that we don't let the self harming attitudes of others, their drama, their whatever, don't let it become yours. You know, don't let yourself be weighed down by the obstacles of other people. You know, that's not your mess. That's not your mess to fix. It's not yours to take in. You don't even have to listen to it, but it's about what you're choosing to allow yourself to take in. Calm, cool, and collected. Owning your emotions, not allowing others to control or influence your choices and decision making. Exactly. Um, and it is something that it doesn't happen overnight. You don't just become calm. You just don't become aware of yourself. You just don't become like know your talents. It's like I speak all the time on your inner work, working on yourself. You know, when's the last time you just sat in a quiet space and just allowed your mind to think? Like I do this every day at some period of the day. I give myself a few minutes and I just close my eyes and I deep breathe, do some meditation, do some clearing my mind of whatever is dark in there, because every day some dark thoughts come into your mind, but it's you letting yourself remove it. And that's why it's so important to take that time to think about yourself, and are you using your talents in every moment that you have? You know, nothing in life is guaranteed from this moment to the next, but it's about what you're choosing to do today in your present and not worrying about what happened in the past. That's vital. Okay? So we talked about, you know, we're talking about the three P's, how we can shift from pessimistic to optimistic. And the first one was positivity. The second one is planning. Now let's get into the third one, preparation. Now I know a lot of people think planning and preparation is the same thing. No, no, no. Planning is your environment, the things that is in your control, what you can do. But preparation, it involves training, you know. And for me, that training is training my mind. And you have to train your mind to have positive thinking, because we're surrounded by negativity in this world, negative situations, negative people. You know, maybe you may not feel best in your physical person, but it's training your mind, you know, training your mind that regardless of the environment, regardless of my situation, regardless of what is happening around me, here in my mind is a safe space. It's a strong space. It's an encouraging space. And you must talk to yourself that way. And if you're not already, you need to tell yourself every single day, I have the potential and it is inside of me. Now, what am I going to choose to do with my potential today, right here in this moment? Okay. So, preparation involves that training and using your intuition and your instinct. That's why you the quality of discernment is so important. We have to discern when things are off, you know. Don't go by what other people are saying, go by the actions. The actions is where it's at, okay? It's about the actions. Who cares what other people are saying? It's about what they're doing, and also yourself too. Convince yourself that you can do it, and then let yourself follow through. Be accountable. See, when we're prepared, it, it's like we're unstoppable. You can be positive all day long. You can plan, but if you're not prepared, you have to prepare yourself that if this happens, this is what I'm going to do. It's preparing your mind, preparing your heart, preparing your spirit for whatever situations happen. I'm good. Whatever happens, I'm okay. I'll get through this. And more people need to have this thinking in their mind instead of if something happens, they feel, oh, I'm nobody, I'm nothing. Or saying, why do things like this happen to me? Why not? When situations happen to you, when you get tested, when you get tried, it's to help you to strengthen something in your life. Strengthen yourself emotionally, mentally, spiritually, financially. Use whatever that situation as a teaching tool and not something that is outside of you to get inside of you. That's a gem alert. Don't let what's happening on the outside get inside of you and drag you down. Because if you don't take control of that thing, if you don't let your mind like, oh no, we're not doing that, or no, nope, we're not. And especially if somebody's coming at you with something, trying to talk down to you, you immediately must dismiss it. When people say, oh, you'll never do, oh, say, not only will I do it, I'm going to do it successfully so you can have several seats. Never let negativity or that doubt linger in your mind to where you start thinking, oh, well, maybe I can't do it. Or maybe I am stupid. Maybe I will never do it. Maybe I can't accomplish nothing. See, when those seeds of doubt become implanted in your mind, it affects all aspects of your life, and you become more and more pessimistic because you've allowed your guards, you let your guard down. You're letting people in when you should not let certain people in your circle, your force. I call it my force field. I only let people come so far. There's certain places in my mind and my heart that only I and God can reside. Nobody can get into that. That's mine. You can only get this far. And that right there, it will take you so far in your life if you don't allow certain people to get to you. Strengthen your mind, people. Strengthen your mind that when somebody comes at you, you have to be strong inside of you. And if you start doubting, regaining your traction, start speaking over your life. Success is happening to me. I speak it over my life. I believe it. I speak it into existence as it has already happened. See, that's shifting from that pessimistic to optimistic. You're not allowing others, even ourselves, to get us down. See, the 3 P's: positivity, planning, and preparation. If you're not prepared, he who has not, what is the saying? If you have not, if you have failed to plan, you've already planned to fail. It's so important for us to make plans so that we can be successful. And success looks different to every single person. Your success is not my success, but it's very important for us to look at our life and make a choice. Am I going to be pessimistic like other people? Be negative? You know, some of the other definitions of pessimistic is negative, cynical, bleak. That's a person who has no hope. And that's not the case for us motivators, is it? We have hope. Hope exists. I just did a live the other day talking about hope exists. If you have not seen that already, it is so powerful and it's so good. I recommend everyone to take a look at that stream if you have not already. So, to get into that optimistic mindset, let's talk about what optimistic means. Optimistic means that you see good things everywhere. So it's not something you have to search for. As a pessimistic person, they have to look and search for something positive. Whereas a person who's optimistic, it means that Everywhere around you, you can see the good things. You can see the good in other people as well as yourself. And that's so important. See the good in yourself. And we can be our own worst enemy when it comes to our optimistic outlook. We can sabotage ourselves. You don't need anybody to sabotage you. You can do it by yourself, telling yourself, well, you can't do anything, or you're stupid, I'm foolish, I never do anything right. With that attitude, you won't. You've already planned for your demise of your life. You've already planned for your mind to become weakened. Don't even yourself, you have to encourage yourself and tell yourself, I can do great things, and I am doing great things because the greatness is inside of me. Okay? So the optimistic person, it, they're generally a confident person, and they're hopeful for the future. See, one thing that people cannot take away from you or me is hope. Hope is something that exists. It is. Even if maybe at the moment, maybe even if you don't see it, that hope is there. But you have to be looking for it, searching for it, and with that positive attitude, you will see it. See what comments I missed. Hey, Robert, how are you? Good to see you. Appreciate you being here. Yes, we must remember, without a test, you wouldn't have a testimony. Yes, yes. Very good. Hey, Leticia, how are you? Good to see you. Welcome in. That's what people don't know or understand, that if you didn't have trials, if you didn't have problems, if things didn't happen to you to test who you are, then how would you really know what you believe? See, it's in those trials, it's in those tests, it's in our struggles where we refine the very fiber of who we are, of what we're about how strong we are mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. That's how we define all of the parts of us, the pieces of us. That's how we show how talented we are. We show how gifted we are. And I know you all are gifted people. Each of us has been given gifts and talents, but the question always is are we using our gifts? Are we using what we have? Do we believe in our gifts? See? And that's only something you can answer. I can't answer it for you. I'm just giving you the knowledge and the awareness that you do have talents, you do have gifts, you do have things that you're good at. And you may not have a lot of people in your life that can see it, but you can see it. If you're a person who is a believer, your higher power believes it, but you have to believe it for yourself. You have to believe it for yourself. See, one thing about life is troubles will happen, trials will happen, people will discourage you, people will be negative, but it's all about, like from the beginning of this whole conversation, the most important thing that I want to share with you, that you can have started out and the people around you, pessimistic, negative, dark, even evil, but you can shift for yourself because you want to. See, that's the most important thing about being optimistic. You have to want better. You have to do better. You have to show by your actions. You have to show you love yourself. You have to show that you're deserving and you have talents and you have gifts and you believe in those gifts, and you will protect your peace at all costs. Protect your peace, my motivators. Don't let anybody challenge you Don't let anybody make you feel that you're less than, because you are somebody, even if they don't see it. But the thing about it is, people see when a person is bright, when they have a radiating light. People see it, but people want to diminish your light because it casts, like you're highlighting the negative inside of them. They don't like it. Or you're showing them, you show them up because you're doing something and they're not. And people don't like when you make them feel inferior. But all of that is projection. You can't do anything about what other people think about themselves. You can't make other people love themselves. The only thing that you can do every single day, and that's in the planning part of this, what you can do is work on yourself, work on your mindset, work on being about your actions, doing things, making changes, and doing it for yourself. See, because you deserve it. You deserve to succeed. You deserve to have a great life. You deserve to have great friends. You deserve to be supported. You deserve to go after anything that you desire and to have it. But right here in your mind, you have to be convinced first. You must. There's no recourse. There's no sidestepping, backstepping, any of that. Until you believe it, until you're convinced in your mind, until you have done some inner work and strengthen the inside of you. Because I'm telling you, when you strengthen the inside of you, that's immediately the time when on all cylinders, people are going to come to attack you, to take you down, to try to break your spirit, to even physically harm you. People don't like a bright light. People don't like the ones who radiate positivity. People don't like you because they do not like themselves. They don't love themselves. They're not willing to make changes. They don't want to do nothing for themselves. You make them look bad, but that's not your problem. But don't give away your power without permission. See, you give that permission to other people. You give people your mind power. There's certain things that you don't even have to make a response. Don't even respond to them. They're not worth your time. Get busy into what you need to do. Get busy in going after your hopes and your dreams. The reason why you are here today. Go after it and do that. See, if more people would go after what they're supposed to do, they get their focus right. They believe in themselves. They love themselves. They show up for themselves, and they do things that is compassionate. They're understanding of what they can do, but they don't worry about the things that they can't. So I will see you guys on tomorrow for the next dose of positivity. And like I always say, just know it, just breathe it, and be it, and live your best life. And I would love for you to join my channel membership. I'd love to have you. See you guys tomorrow.
Forgive me, I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? I forgive me. I love me. I've been blessed that I have made it through. I'm stronger and worthy. I am enough now. What about you? Ooh, hey, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
And I have to say thank you, Leticia, for the super chat.
Be encouraged, be inspired, be yourself, you will survive.